Okay.
Okay, so can you see my screen?
No.
Oh, try that again. Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Okay, so have you opened up Dreamweaver yet?
Yes, I've actually looked through it a bit.
Okay, great. So this is the homework file.
Okay.
And let's see, maybe more helpful if we go back a few steps. So I'm going to close this out. So when we go to create a new site in Dreamweaver, for the homework assignment, what we need to do is just import the site because the site has already been created. And for the tutorial assignment with the Bistro site organization, that site has already been created too. So we're actually opening up a site rather than creating a new site.
Okay.
And so when you download the files from Against the Clock, have you done that?
Not yet.
So what you would download the rental site and then you would place it in, I've got it in the
Yeah.
folder, I placed it in my WIP folder. And then here I'm going to open up my rentals site, which is the STE site for Dreamweaver site.
All right.
Oh, and then, never mind, but let me close that because that's just the code. I'm actually going to go from my files panel and go to manage sites. And then I'm going to open up the rental site from here.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go to import site. So I can't remember on the homework assignment if that's already the rentals STE file is already set up or if you need to set that up. But if you need to set up a new site, you just click on new site.
Okay.
And then you can call it rentals. And then you can just point your local site folder to wherever you've placed your files. So if I placed my rentals folder here in my WIP folder, so you would select that folder and then click choose. And now you've just directed your root folder essentially on your local computer. And then you would name the site here. You call it rentals, and then you've established your root folder, and then you would save that. So I'm going to cancel it because I've already done this. I've got rental here, and now I'm going to import that site. So once you've created a new site, you don't have to recreate it every time you open it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. And so I'm going to import that. Oh, hold on. Click on done. So I've already imported my site here, so you can see all the files on my files management panel. So it's got all my images, my HTML pages, and any other assets I need for this site.
Okay.
Then I can open up my index page. So your index.html page is always going to be your home page. It's always going to be named index.html. I'm going to double click on that to open it. And now you can see the site, and I'm in split view. So if you click on split view, so I can see my code as well as the site, and then you can switch back from live view to design view to see the layout grid, and then you can go back to live view to hide the grid and the guidelines.
Okay.
I'm going to go back to design view here. So all that we're doing for the tutorial and the homework assignment essentially is linking everything on our pages. So you can look in your files panel and see, in addition to the index or home page, we also have all of these properties pages. So we have 5 properties pages. So anything with the HTML extension is going to be a page on your site.
Okay.
I also have a contact.html page, and then an amenities.html page.
Okay.
We have 7 pages on this site. And here's the navigation menu on my home page. And there's always a link back to the home page. So here's amenities. If I highlight amenities and I look in my properties panel, which is always going to be default located at the bottom here.
Okay.
You can see under link, it's linked to amenities.html. And you can link that by pointing to the amenities page. And when you go through the tutorial, it shows you several different ways you can link it. And you can always drag this properties panel up so that you're closer to that files panel. Oops, okay. And so that's how you would link it. And then for the properties page, I'm going to highlight properties. And you can see here it's linked, but then I can point that to the properties.html page. And
Okay.
then contact, you do the same thing, and you can link it to the contact page. So that's just the navigation menu. Then you want to link all these other elements. You've got all these individual properties. For example, the Stratton Villas property, that's property 1 HTML page. So that's linked to properties 1. Again, you can use the pointer to do that. Then the next property is named Oceanside, and that's linked to properties 2. Williams Square is linked to properties 3 page. Market Street is linked to properties 4.
Okay.
And then you can link the email address. So here, this info@romanoplace.atc. And anytime you want to link to an email address, you just type in the full email address with the text mail to : in front of it.
Okay.
Here. And then that would open it up as an email on your email program. And then down here in the footer, we have the Against the Clock website, and you can see that's linked to the Against the Clock URL. And so anytime you want to place a link to an URL, you have to input the https : // and then the rest of the web address. And you can always just copy and paste that. So you can see just on the home page, there's several things to link. The navigation menu, all the properties, email, and website.
Okay.
Then I'm going to open up another page. So let's open up the amenities page, double click on that. And here I want to link all the same elements, the navigation, the email, and the website. And one way I can do that, I'm going to go back to my index page, and if I select the navigation area, I'm going to move this properties panel so you can see down here on the left side are the tags. So this, and we'll learn more about that as we get more into Dreamweaver. But if I select, these are called selectors. You can see that hashtag in front of it. Once I click on this navbar selector tag, you can see this entire container is highlighted or selected. So that's, the navbar is the tag for this entire container, the container that contains all the navigation elements. So if I click on navbar, it selects the whole navigation container. Then you can see the code for that navbar is highlighted in the source code. I can go to edit copy. So I'm copying the code for this entire navigation bar. Remember, I've already linked all of these. Then I can go to my amenities page, click on the, the nav bar container here. So I want the source code. Okay. And let me pull this up. So now you can see the code on this page is highlighted. I can go to edit, paste, to paste all the code for the navigation from my home page. And that should include all the links. Hold on, something happened here. Okay, highlight this again. So I've got this is an unordered list. I want to select this div too. Hold on, let me go back to index page. I want to make sure what it was doing was it was just highlighting the text and not the code.
I see.
So I want to go back and make sure I'm highlighting the code. Okay, edit, copy. Okay, now go to my amenities page and then edit, paste. Now you can see the navigation container has all the links. So if I click on home page, it's linked to index.html. Amenities link is linked to that page. So that's how you can, I just copied the code from one page onto another. So I don't have to go back and manually link each one of these. I just copy and pasted the code.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay, so, and you could manually link each one.
Well, of
and
course.
you might find that easier, but you could also just as easily copy and paste the code. And then
Okay.
you want to copy the mail to email address and link that. And then same thing with the website. I can go back to the index.html, highlight the URL, select all, copy, go back to amenities, and then link that URL by pasting it in here.
Okay.
Now that's hyperlinked. So now I've got this page, all the links set up on this page. And so then you want to just go through and do that on all the pages. So then I can open up properties.html and do the same thing with the navigation element, link all the properties, email, and website. So that's all we're doing for the homework assignment. Now there's one kind of issue that pops up when, and you may or may not run into this problem, but I want to go ahead and address that in case you do. If,
Okay.
for example, I'm highlighting this navigation element and I'm going to go to, let's see here, I'm going to move this without, okay, I'm going to move that out of the way. Okay, you want to go into CSS Designer panel, and we're not going to mess with that too much now. We'll go into it more later where we can apply some styles. But for now, I just want you to see how we can fix the problem. So I'm going to go to this selector navbar A. Again, we clicked on that tag earlier, and you can access the selector in the CSS Designer panel. And then you scroll down. I'm going to move this up so you can see it better. So, okay, nav selector, the hashtag navbar A is selecting the style for this navigation element. Right now, the font weight is set to normal, but I believe that in the homework assignment, it's set to bold. So when it's set to bold, it may drop down to the next line. It's not doing it here. Let me go back and see if it does it here. It's not doing it now. So let me go see if it's doing it when I go to my browser view. So if you click on this real-time preview down on the right corner, you
Yep.
can select your browser. So I'm going to select Google Chrome. I'm just going to click on yes. And then I can view this on Google Chrome. So right now I'm in Google Chrome. So now you can see that problem with the contact text is dropped down to the next line. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Dreamweaver, and so we're going to fix that. I'm going to select navbar A again, and I'm going to switch from the font weight under properties. I'm going to switch it from bold to normal.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go to my preview, save it, go to Chrome, and now you can see it's fixed that issue. So sometimes if you make even a minimal change in the style, like making the text bold, it can change the appearance in the browser. So making that text style bold made the text drop down in the next line because it no longer fit in that container. So the way we fix that is through adjusting the style in our selector in CSS Designer, where you have more control, where you can change the properties.
Okay.
And so that's pretty much it. It's just a matter of going through each page and linking everything.
Okay. That makes pretty decent sense.
Yeah, so this is pretty simple. So we're not throwing you into designing a site, but I'm learning how to link everything first. Now the next homework assignment, homework 6, you will actually be setting up a very basic site.
Okay.
And that's where you'll want to refer to the web publishing document that's on our course page, and it gives you step-by-step instructions on how to set up your site to the ASU host. Will you be using that?
Probably.
Okay, have you ever used it before?
No.
Okay, so it's pretty easy to follow along. Let me go back to Dreamweaver. So when you are in Dreamweaver, in your Files panel, you'll want to select the arrow here under Manage, and go to Manage Sites. And then you can click on the pencil. And then here, remember, we set up a site and you pointed your root folder.
Yep.
Click on Servers and then click on the plus button. You can actually set up your server here. So then you can go back to the document, and there's a screen capture here, so you'll just want to pretty much follow the directions here. So for the server name, you would type in app state. You want to connect using SFTP. Let me see if I can bring these up at the same time. For now. Okay, now you can see both windows. Okay, so can you see that? These two windows. So here's the document, and here's your managed sites. You're trying to set up your server in Dreamweaver.
Okay.
Where that is? Are you in Dreamweaver?
I can't like get out of the video somehow for some reason. But I understand like what you're saying.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so here under server name, you just type in app state and then connect using SFTP. authenticate using your username and password, and you just type in your App State username and your App State password.
Okay.
And then if you're using a public computer, you don't want to save your password, obviously, but
Of course.
if you've got your own personal laptop, you can save it. And just keep in mind, if you changed your password recently, it may take a couple of days or so
Yep.
for that to register. And then you can test it just to make sure it's connecting. And then once you've tested it, your root directory is going to be public_HTML. So it needs to be that same exact text. Unless you have used the AppState server already and you already have a site up, then you'll have to do something else in addition, because you're only allowed one site for the ASU website, but there are ways around it. Then for the web URL, you want to leave the http:// and then type in www.appstate.edu / then your last name, the first letter of your last name, then / then your last name and the first letter of your first name.
Okay.
It's like your username there. And then end with the /.
Okay.
And once you do that, you should save it, and then it should connect you to the server. And whatever you name index.html, that's going to be your home page.
Okay.
So I'm going to cancel this for now. Do you have any questions about the homework or?
Not anymore. You've
Okay.
answered all of them.
Good. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to export this rental site. Since it's already saved, you can, if you've already saved it, what you do is click on this export button, and then you can export it. Here's where you would export it as an STE
Okay.
into your rentals folder, and it'll save it with that STE extension. Like I've actually got 2 versions there, so I'm not going to save a 3rd version, but then once you've done that, then you can delete the site. And if you've already exported it, it's not going to delete all your files. It's still going to be in your root folder. So
Okay.
you're just deleting the site from Dreamweaver for now, so that I can import another site. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that. And then I'm going to open up this site that I've got set up. I'm going to go back and look for that site. Open that up. So then you would open up your STE file. It says it's already been, oh, I just imported it again. So I'm going to click done and open this again. Close this. So now I've got another site that I've imported here, and I'm going to open up my index.html page. I've got a lot of stuff in here. Here's, double click on it. And so this is what you're going to be setting up on your site on AppState server. And it's going to look something like this. So this would be homework 6. And that is,
Okay.
I believe that's not due until next week. Let me just check on that. Yeah, October 10th is the due date. And so this is where you're formatting text. So instead of this, it would be the GRA 3512 course name. Then you would just type in your name under it. And then, and you can follow the directions on the assignment sheet, but then you're just going to type in a short kind of bio or introduction of yourself.
Okay.
And I'm going to see if I should have an example of that here. Okay, here we go. So here I've got interests, hobbies, just a paragraph about myself, and then there's a link back to my index page. And so once you type in like back to index, I'm just going to point it back to my index page here. And so I actually have a new index page called Portfolio Index, but yours would just be index.html.
Okay.
Just point that to your index.html page to link it back. And then back to my index page, then I would have, so in the directions, you can actually type in that paragraph right underneath. So I'm just going to copy this text and just paste it right after my name. So your page would look something like this. It would be on the same page. Your course name, your name, interests, hobbies, paragraph. And then your first link is going to be actually text formatting. I'm going to just delete that. It's going to be text formatting and hyperlinks. So this is linked to a page called text.html. So you would go to File, New, and then create a new HTML page, and you just title it, save it as text.html. And then you can just start typing on there. So I'm going to open up my text page, text.html. And then your page is going to look something like this. It's going to just give it a title like text formatting examples, and then your name, and type in bold, italics, and underline, and then actually bold the bold text. And you can go in your properties panel, and some of the styles you can access in HTML, and then some in CSS. So I'm in HTML right now, and you can just select bold. Then for italics, you can just select italics. Underline, you can just select underline style. You can do left align, right align, center. You can choose different colors. Now for the colors, you want to go to CSS and then click on the swatches here, and then you can select a color that would fall within the RGB web color mode. And there are sites, if you just Google web colors, they have different color charts. Like you can choose a color from the color chart, and you would just copy the code, just
Okay.
the color, and you can paste it in here. So that's how you can format color. And then you can format a bulleted list. And you can go back to HTML to find the bulleted or number list. You can indent and so forth. So you just follow the directions on the grade sheet, and then create some hyperlinks. Create a hyperlink to Google, to AppState, your email address, a hyperlink to the top of the page. And the way you do that is you would just type in, let's see if I've got that here. So here I've got the text top, like that. And you just type in hashtag top, and that will take you, so if you click on that, it'll take you to the top of the web page. So this is just really basic formatting, but you can get used to how you can format text, and then you can actually preview it on your browser. Go ahead and save it now so you can see what it looks like. So it's going to look so not well designed at all at this point, but just getting some basic formatting up there.
Okay.
And if you know more, like some of you may know more about how to format, you can do more formatting if you want. And then for your index page, it's going to look very basic right now, but we're going to go back and you can go back and reformat that later once we go to the final projects. And throughout the rest of the course, in each module, you'll kind of learn some new techniques on how to improve this site. So for now, you're just going to have two pages, your index page and then your text.html page.
Okay.
Some text formatting, some samples. And you'll want to make sure that these pages are up on your server, on the ASU server, and that you can access it through, that they're live. So once you type in AppState, and I've got my site, this is a Muse site, but so if I type in appstate.edu/tilde, then my username And then for you, it'll be, I think that's all you'll have to do for you, just your username.
Okay.
Mine, I've got a subdirectory in there. But then you should be able to just copy and paste that URL on our course page in the submission area, and then I should be able to go directly to your website. So it should be
Okay.
up and running on the AppState server.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's so for this module, you've got tomorrow the best sites discussion forum is due, and then tomorrow the rentals homework assignment is due. The next Tuesday is that formatting text and getting your site up on the server.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know that was kind of a lot to go through, but
No, it all made sense. You explained it pretty well.
okay, good. Are you
Um,
feeling pretty caught up?
yeah, I'm feeling pretty caught up. Yeah, I was just out of town for like the last 4 days, so it's been a little bit like, yeah.
Yeah.
But this makes pretty much sense. I kind of got to go though.
Yeah, no, well, I think we're pretty much finished up. So
Yeah.
yeah, so if any questions come up, just let me know.
Okay. And is email the best way to contact you?
Yes, yeah, email is always, but if we need
Okay.
to face to face, just email me and say, hey, can I meet you on campus, or can we set up a Google Hangout, which is also just a video face-to-face meeting. And that seems to work better for one-on-one sometimes, but Zoom would be fine too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
All right then. Well, have a good rest of your night.
I will try.
All right.
Bye.
Okay. Bye, Benjamin.
I just got to figure out how to leave the. Oh, there it is. Okay. Bye.
Bye. Yeah,